Hello, I'm Justin DeWeese. This is my well put together, thoughtfully assembled wife, Ashley DeWeese, and this is the Off the Cuff podcast show.
You know, I do think about my appearance before we record these.
Oh,
And sometimes I'm like, the proverbial they say, if you're not put together, nobody's going to pay attention to you. No one's going to listen to what you have to say. And it's kind of like, I feel like this is real, right? Like people who are our kind of vibe and tribe, like this, they're not throwing on makeup and wearing fancy
right,
clothes and doing all the
right,
things. Like that's not who we are. That's not who we're striving to be. I don't need to be like that every day. So this is what we get.
right. No, I mean, listen, it's either real or we got to fire our CGI guy because he's doing a shit job.
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Before we get into the meat and taters of this episode, a little something I want to talk about.
This scares me a little.
My wife is neurotic.
Pretty.
Yes, you're pretty. Way to toot your own horn.
Pretty.
We have calendars in our house.
Really.
We have a calendar on the wall. We got a little desk calendar on the table that teaches our children bad words.
I'd honestly like to have more calendars
I'm
in
sure
my
you
house.
would. Anyway, she's neurotic when it comes to the calendars because if you cross out a date before that date is
I
done,
think it's bad luck.
she thinks it's bad luck,
It's like
which is
you're
fine.
crossing off a day of your life before it's happened.
Which is fine because,
Yeah.
we've all got our things. And so the rest of this house participates in this particular brand of neuroses with her and just lets her live her life. We don't cross off days before they're done. I come up today for lunch and I see that someone has erased the month of July off of the calendar.
Are you even going to let me explain?
Spoiler alert, you'll get your chance. Spoiler alert, July's not over,
Nope.
which had another member of this household erase that calendar, tried to be proactive to get August up there and ready to go, it would have been. But now we're just rolling the dice with the luck.
Look,
Maybe we make it, maybe we don't.
here's the
Hard to
thing.
say.
Typically, we do not change the calendar until we have already expired the last day of the month. All right.
I mean, that's just common sense. It keeps you on the good luck side of things.
Right. And then we put the new calendar up. And the other thing that they make fun of me for is
It's a wide
because
erase calendar, by the way.
typically you have extra days for the calendar. So like typically like the count what the calendar starts on a Sunday. So typically like the first day of the month isn't rolling in on a Sunday, which means you have the last few days of the previous month that go on the calendar with the full days for the current month.
That's how rectangles work.
And I always copy like if there were 2 days left in the week, like I always copy what we did on those days onto the calendar. And they'll be like, well, that's
Even though those days are in the past, dead and gone.
I want to know what we did on those days because it was part of the
So
week.
start writing in a journal. Why are you rewriting things on the calendar that have already gone by?
It was okay to erase the calendar for this month today. We're filming
Like
this
the hell with it.
on the final day of the
Without
month.
bad luck, we wouldn't have any luck at all.
Because the first day of August starts on a Friday, which means I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of July that get to go up on the calendar. So I can erase the calendar and go ahead and put up the last part of July as we roll into August, and we're
Right.
not erasing any days because they're going to be right there on the calendar. I also do not intend to write August as the title. I will put July back up there until tomorrow. And also, there is so much stuff that we have going on in August. I can't wait till tomorrow to put that up. Like, I just need to get it up there
I mean,
today.
why wait till tomorrow? Why not do it today?
I am going to do it today.
Well, you just said you can't wait until tomorrow to put it up there.
Very confusing.
Oh shit, I locked her up, gang.
It doesn't matter.
Time for a hard reboot.
Understood. First of all, I created these calendar rules. So as long as I understand that what I'm doing does not violate what goes on in my brain in regard to the calendar and days before days have expired, like that's all that matters.
Okay, so just to be clear, in front of all these witnesses,
All these 10 witnesses.
if the person that has created the rule then chooses to willy-nilly violate the rule, that is not a rules violation. Is that what we're saying here?
Does it impact any of the rest of you?
I'm just asking a question on point of clarification on the parliamentary procedures of the DeWeese household.
The answer is that is correct.
Great.
As long
Perfect.
as,
Perfect. Perfect.
As long as it doesn't impact.
Oh, now there's sub clauses and addendums.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's exhausting. You make rules, you just live by the rules. You don't just scatter them to the wind whenever it's convenient for you.
You're on one today.
Well, I had you push me squarely in the middle of the back, right in front of the bad luck train, because you erased the damn calendar.
Well, if we go with your philosophy, like we're Deweese's and everything turns out for the best.
It did until today.
Okay. So we are rolling into August. And while school doesn't officially start for a few weeks, when you have
Unfortunately
athletic children, school kind of starts before that because sports practices start. Stop.
What'd I do? I'm just listening to you.
Sports practices are getting ready to start, and we're getting ready to figure out to make reference to a previous podcast episode. I don't know which one because I'm a bad host and didn't look it up. But we will be getting into a place where we're about to revise our daily schedules and routines, etc., because we're moving into a new era, right? We're moving out of the summer era where the kids are home, and see, my brain is already.
Yeah, you're good.
You know why? Because I always have like crazy amounts of tabs open in my brain, but when it comes end of summer, start of the school year, there's like 10 times as many tabs open.
Well, that doesn't bode well for any of us.
I'll work on trying to close them, okay? But no promises.
Meditation helps with that, I've heard.
Does it?
I've heard.
So I thought today maybe we'd talk a little bit about like stepping up when needed or getting uncomfortable, doing things that maybe you don't really want to do, but you understand that
prematurely changing the calendar. Nope. I gotta give the people what they want.
Gosh. So this year, our daughter is going into the 9th grade, which means she is officially a high schooler. Now, it still carries the typical meaning of a kid going into high school. However, our kids, the school that they go to, it's all grades in the same building. So we don't have to go through
like Little House on the Prairie.
The transition of like it's a new building, it's a bunch of
where's
new
everything
kids
at?
Like it's not as big of a transition as it would be if they attended public schools.
Which is probably good for us.
With that means that with her athletics, which she only plays volleyball for school, that's the only activity as far as athletics she does at school. She's moving to the high school team. Well, this year they did not have the coach from last year step down from coaching as she's growing her family. And so they were in search of a new head high school volleyball coach. And come to find out, that search wasn't really going so hot. And so long story short, I was like, hey, I'll let him know. I assistant coached last year.
For the junior high.
For the junior high to help out. But I had said, I don't want to coach her anymore. We actually do pretty well, her and I. We do pretty well with like...
I didn't disagree.
Me being her coach and her being a player.
Yes.
It's not ideal, but like we do all right. But I had decided I don't want to coach her. I've coached her with junior high volleyball. I coached her as an assistant coach 1 year in her club volleyball. And it's just time at her age and her wanting to, really progress to her potential for me not to be her coach anymore, for someone who is more knowledgeable, more skilled to be in those roles for her. And I've told you this a lot recently, like, I just want to be a mom. Like, I just want to be a mom in the stands yelling and getting frustrated.
Right. Not on the sideline yelling and getting frustrated.
Sideline, not only getting frustrated with my own child, but also,
Because listen, when you're in the stands, you can be like, I need a break. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to stop by the concession stand. I'm just going to step outside for a little while and I'll watch it slop. You don't have that freedom as a coach. You got to be like, crap, I got to do something about
right.
this.
I'm the one. But no, I just wanted to be a mom. But anyways, they didn't have anyone lined up, and so I had said, "Hey," to the school directors, I'll throw my name in the hat, but as a last choice, right? Like, if you can find someone else who is more knowledgeable, more skilled than I am, please.
That's the way you should go.
That's the way you should go. Um, that did not happen. That did not
So,
happen. I will be the head
high
varsity
school
high
volleyball
school
coach.
coach for our kids' school this year. And I am excited about it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I know that leading up, I was like, I don't, well, there was a lot of discussion, which leads to what I was saying about let's talk about stepping up.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What?
No, there was, well, you could prompt this conversation along. It's not like you haven't been here for all of it. You could like throw out some questions. I don't have to lead the
I didn't.
conversation.
Holy smokes.
Well,
Jeez. Continue. How'd you feel about that? Come on, man. The podcast listeners don't want radio silence. So spit it out.
no, there was some confliction because, like I said, the biggest part is, when do you know something is like not really your responsibility, but when do you know that like you're the one, right? Like you're the one that needs to step up and fulfill this hole, or you're the one that needs to step into this position or scenario to help out. When do you know that?
Well, see, that's a sticky wicket because like my general mentality is, well, I'm here, I should do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm wildly underqualified, don't know what I'm doing, but I'm the one that's here and I can do it, so I'll do it.
Yeah, I didn't even think this conversation was going to go this way, but
Oh, it's
why
gonna.
not? So there's a couple different paths we should talk about, but one of those is I think women do what I do more than you men do. Meaning like what you were just saying. Like you're just like, "Oh, there's a need, there's an opening, like
Right. Full send.
I'll
Let's
do
go.
it." Whereas women, am I qualified? Am I qualified? Am I going to be able to do this?
Sure.
Do I have
Overthink
the
it.
time for this? Am I really the best person for the job? And like men don't do that
Typically.
typically.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So on one hand, I would definitely be an advocate of ladies, including myself. We need to stop doing that, right? Because our counterparts are just like, yeah, I can do that. They just have that kind of self-confidence. And the funny thing is
Irrational
irrational. Yes.
self-confidence.
Well, yeah, because here's what I would say. Correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, there's always exceptions in
Oh, you're
the
never
true
wrong,
in all
honey.
cases.
You're amazing.
But I would say that more men who full send it with this irrational confidence, like legit do not have qualification skills or whatever for the situation. Whereas women, who are the ones that typically are over here, like second guessing, overthinking, doubting whether they should throw their, hat in the ring for something, are actually qualified to do the thing.
Sure. I would agree with that.
Which is it's so incredibly interesting. And this is where I would say women, we need a little bit more of the Irrationality, is that a word? Irrationality.
I mean, it is now.
Irrationalness, that's not right.
That's terrible. Don't ever do that again.
We just sometimes need to be either more irrational or just have that conviction and confidence
Well,
and belief in
okay.
ourselves that we can do the job.
Little footnote here. Be more irrational in the things that you think you can accomplish. Please, I'm begging you, don't be more irrational for the rest of your life.
I get where
I
you're
am begging you.
that's what you're putting down.
We are
Yes.
full up.
Yeah. Because obviously, typically, like when I consider throwing my hat in the ring, it's because I know I at least have a little bit of qualifications,
Right.
if not a lot. But I second guess that. And
And I'm like, I'll figure it out on the fly.
right. So yeah, so I went back and forth, like, do I even want to throw my hat in the ring? I'll just throw my hat in the ring and hope and pray that they can find someone else. And then it was coming down to this situation where I was like, hey, it's not looking like they're finding somebody else, and this is going to be put into your lap. And even up to the last minute, I was telling him, I'm like, maybe this isn't mine. Maybe, and of course I, listened for God, did some asking of questions of God, which I
You got your answer.
apparently.
Listen, that's the thing, right? Hopes and prayers, she said. And we did pray about this. And the men's Bible study they take part in on Mondays, we prayed about it, that the school would get the right. I told her this, FYI.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. Thanks, honey. So, anyway, lots of prayer going on. The prayer has been answered. The thing is, you're not always going to like the answer to the
Yeah.
prayer,
Yeah.
right? But clearly, this is the way it's meant to be.
Well, and to be honest, like a lot of that, like, hey, I don't know if this is really, I should do this and what have you. It had more to do with, could I do it?
Well, sure.
Could I navigate the time commitment? Could I navigate the travel that was going to be involved? Could I navigate, being in this role, but then also still being able to show up as a mom in this regard, not just to Ayla, our daughter, but also for our son who is involved in fall athletics.
Could I navigate a dozen high school girls without murdering anybody?
Yes.
TBD.
So yeah, and so again, it's one of those things, but sometimes you just have to pull the trigger. You just have to say yes or no in some scenarios and have faith in God's plan for you and have faith in yourself that you'll be able to figure it out, and to kind of zoom out if you're listening to this and going like, okay, I don't have kids, or I have kids and I'm not ever going to be in a position of coaching them or so. Like, take this into whatever aspect of your life it applies, because it applies for
Right.
anything.
Use that big, beautiful brain God gave you.
We are fitness and health coaches, and at times, potential clients and even our own actual clients hesitate to take steps forward in their journey or getting started in their journey because they can't see the whole staircase.
Right.
And so they live in their brain with these questions of, can I? What will it be like? What's going to happen if? Remember that thing or those two things that I did or tried or stepped into before and it went like this or it went like that, and oh, now I've got all these other things also going on, like maybe I won't be, our brain looks to keep us protected and safe.
Our brain is our greatest asset and our worst freaking enemy.
For sure.
Write that down.
And so when we're overthinking and we're doubting and we're hesitating and we're nervous or we're scared to take that action or to take that step and move into something that we can't see the entire playbook for, our brain is going to look for the last similar experience that we had to this thing. And it's going to remind us of how that went.
Right.
It's not going to by default tell us in our head all the positive things that came out of it, all of the lessons, all of the growth, all of the cool stuff. it's going to default to all of the things that went wrong.
Right.
And all of the bad feelings that maybe came along with it.
To protect you.
To protect us. And so that's where we have to be able to override our brain and give it different things to focus on and think about. The best way to start making that happen is to step into action.
Right.
So, in this case, by accepting,
Right.
by not withdrawing my name, but by accepting the offer to do this. And now, and I've had this in different experiences of my life, and now that, honestly, I was more in turmoil over this while we were waiting on decisions to happen than I am right now.
You were in turmoil the last couple days? You don't say.
Oh my word, what were the signs?
My brain is protecting me right now by saying, don't say anything. But yes, I understand where you're going with it. That once you have gotten on the horse, so to speak, there's nothing to do but giddy up.
Well, and that's where I would tell those of you that are listening, if you are waiting around to do something greater in your life or make a change, or if, specifically you're kind of dragging your feet about committing to your health journey, right? To become a healthier, fitter, better looking, better living version of you. The turmoil that you're keeping yourself in right now by not taking action forward is so much greater pain and strife than if you just made the decision. Because once you make the decision, I'm doing this, and you take that first step, well, now you're in it. So now really your option is to figure it out.
Right.
Right. And so the same here, I still don't know. I don't know. What's it going to go like? Is it going to feel like too much? Am I not going to be the right fit? I'm not going to know any of these things, but the decision has been made. And so now I just have to look forward and be like, okay, how am I going to tackle this? How am I going to approach this? How am I going to make this the best experience possible for these girls this year?
Well, that ties together with something that I read recently, that ready is a myth.
Yeah, ready is a lie.
That you'll never be ready for getting married. You'll never be ready to have a kid. You'll never be ready to coach high school volleyball. You'll never be ready for it. Right. All you can do is step into it and become ready.
Well, and this is one of the things that I do talk to my clients quite a bit about is think of all the things, we get in these situations where a decision needs to be made and action needs to be taken. And all of a sudden, our brain just completely forgets all of the things in our life we've done thus far that at the time we were new at, or it was challenging or hard or difficult. And we managed to figure it out. Right. But it's with each new level we're moving into or new situation we're moving into, for this, for example, this isn't I'm even stepping into a sport that I know nothing about.
Right.
I played volleyball all of my life.
You're not coaching lacrosse.
I have coached volleyball before. There's just a couple of new nuances to go with this. And so it's why am I treating myself like I have absolutely no experience in the area, no life experience as far as knowing how to navigate new situations and so forth? Why am I doing that to myself?
You are well equipped, my love.
Typically, we all are well equipped, or at least decently enough equipped.
More equipped than you think.
Yes, that would be the nug there. You're more equipped than you think. You're more qualified and capable than you ever give yourself credit for. And so sometimes you just have to get out of your brain and into action, period.
Right. You got to bite the dog that bit you.
I don't know that I've ever heard it put that way before.
You've never heard that before? Good
you got to bite the dog that bit you?
Right.
Huh. No. So anyways, that's what's going on in our world. I did say that it would be helpful to have an assistant coach. So this guy is going to jump in and fulfill that role, which is exciting. It's another opportunity for us to work together as a partnership. And it actually which is another lesson we can share. I was telling him this morning after I accepted that it actually makes me feel a bit better about taking this step because I know that he's taking this step with me. And I have some support there with someone that I'm comfortable with I know, and that kind of thing. And so that little nug there is, again, being supportive of your significant other where and when you can. And that doesn't always look the same for everybody.
Right.
But what we have found is it always helps us be our better or best selves when we're able to commit to things or commit to a greater vision together as the same team.
Same team.
So, anywho, that is where we're at, and those are the lessons that we wanted to bring to you today. We hope all's going well in your world, and if you are in a position similarly where you are faced with a decision of like, I just really don't know if I'm the one, you're the one.
You're the one.
And how do you know that you're the one? You just
Because the opportunity's been put in front of you.
Right.
That's how,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. So just look in the mirror and say, who's the one?
Who's the cat? I'm the cat. Who's the cat? I'm the cat. We've been watching Madagascar.
We'll see you next week.